Nisa.
Hey y'all, this is Jen.
This is our podcast.
Speak Up.
What's up, Jen?
Hey girl.
How are you?
I'm good. Look where we are.
Right? Feeling good. You got away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that we made it to episode 51.
Dude, 51.
Yeah, we passed that milestone.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know, me and Jen are best friends, and we created this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life challenges through self-love and respect.
Yep, 51, 52, every single episode that comes from now on, we're definitely going to be emphasizing self-love and respect.
Yes, I completely agree. So today, our title is Lurking Ain't Easy.
Dang. I mean, it ain't, but shoot. I didn't know we were going to get into this today.
Yeah, we getting deep in this topic, too, for y'all lurkers out there. Shoot.
For real.
Right. So, Jen, what is lurking to you?
Dang. Doing something that you ain't supposed to do. I mean, I've been guilty of lurking too, but yeah, basically it's like, looking at someone's profile or, keeping up with them. It's like following somebody you don't follow, like you're keeping up with what they're posting, what they're talking about, stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's how I would define it. How about you?
Yeah, the same. Yeah, like just doing something you ain't supposed to do. That's like you took the definition right out my mouth. And honestly, we decided to do this episode because, social media is a big thing. And, we talk about self-love, inner peace. And honestly, if you lurking or got the need to lurk or you being lurked on, that is going to mess with your inner peace. So I feel like this was an important topic to touch up on because our mental health is important. Sometimes lurking ain't the best thing to do.
I mean, I don't see a time when it actually is a good thing, like even speaking from personal experience. Yeah, like lurking really hurts your feelings sometimes, but in that case, that's what you get, right? For lurking.
Shout out to the people that watch your stories but don't speak.
Y'all know who you are.
I think too, like I feel like lurking messes with communication because I feel like back in the day they didn't have social media, they didn't have stories, so it's like if you were thinking about somebody you didn't talk to in a while, what would you do? You would call them, write them a letter, pop up, go see them or something. But like now we can just go to somebody's story, and then it's like I feel like it allows you, let's say like you had beef with somebody, it's harder to squash that beef because people they'll just rather watch you all day and lurk versus like come clean and apologize or stuff. They're like they'll just look at your page for a peace of mind.
That's so true. Honestly, like nobody has to talk anymore. I mean, even without lurking, like anybody that you follow on social media, you already know what they're up to pretty much, especially if they post often and, when their family's growing or they got married or something. So imagine if like you're lurking, you go even deeper into that and then like having to create a fake profile sometimes or whatever, or if you're straight up like just, showing somebody that you're seeing. But yeah, like you said, you don't even have to say anything. Like if you've ever lurked on somebody, you would know, oh, they probably with someone new or they broke up with that person or they got a new job or they moved somewhere else or whatever. Like you pretty much know what's going on with that person without ever having to send a message or call them, much less even talk to them. So that's for sure. I mean, I feel like one of the easiest ways to not communicate with somebody is to just lurk. And
I feel like communication is important to any healthy relationship, and when us not doing that, we're actually hurting ourselves. And guess what? When you ain't communicating, what are you doing? You're assuming. So it's like, yeah, they may post this on their IG story and their Snapchat story, a certain thing, but what are we, the whole time you making the assumptions in your head. I can't tell you how many times I don't look at somebody's story and say, oh, they're probably with somebody. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, like, and just made up all these scenarios. It probably was nothing. Or people probably made that up about me thinking I'm doing something and like I'm really just chilling. So it's like that's another thing, and I feel like it causes an extra worry in our brain that doesn't even need to be there. I feel like that's one of the detrimental things about lurking.
No, that's true. I mean, lurking is so bad for your mental health, honestly. Like like how you were saying, oh, they're probably with somebody, like creating all those assumptions, like making stories in your head. Like if you're trying to find something, most likely you're gonna find something. But that's the problem too, because then it's like you're analyzing either the background of that story, or their location or wherever. So it just, I don't know, like, yeah, all the experiences I've had with lurking is just not cool, and then you know, I think with also being able to hide your story or only show them to certain people, I think makes it a lot more dangerous too. But that's obviously a whole different topic. But just thinking of the lurking, like, even if you are lurking and you didn't find anything, doesn't mean there's nothing to find also. So that's a whole other, like, story, you know?
That's so true. And I feel like lurking can affect friendships and also romantic relationships. You know, I know y'all was waiting for this one. That's the big one. Like, I feel like, you know, when you go through like a breakup or somebody that you ain't talking to no more, that's the time you really start lurking, and it should be getting real. I can't tell you how many people would have made them some fake pages looking, or shoot, I did some lurking. Bruh.
I see y'all fake pages.
Y'all need to stop. Okay, I be hiding my story every time I see a fake page pop up on my stuff. What you looking to see? I didn't even got nothing on my story. I just be doing it because I'm like, what?
But my thing is too, though, like, if I post it on my story, I want you to see it. So you know, ain't no point in like lurking or just
like that.
Pretending that you don't want to, like, you know, you ain't finding nothing out. And that goes with anything, you know, like if somebody puts something on their story and you see it, you're meant to see it, you know, whether they're being petty or, you know, they don't care that you see or whatever the fuck. Like, at the end of the day, you seeing something on someone's story like, oh, I saw this, blah blah blah, yeah, and you were supposed to. I've seen fake pages lurk on my story all the time, and it's like, what's the point? Like, why don't you just come straight?
To the dudes I don't talk to anymore, if you got something to say it. Stop looking. Like, y'all getting on my nerves.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna say too, like, we, as me and Jim were saying too, like, it's also an extra addition to a breakup. You know, because I feel like, when do you know to delete somebody off social media? Like, after a breakup or after like an ending of y'all talking? It's like, I think that's the awkward part, because I feel like our parents or like our grandparents, they didn't have to worry about that. Like, I feel like when they broke up with somebody or they were done with somebody, what they do, like, they just stopped communicating. They didn't have to, unless they, like, you know, had the same circle of friends or something. But I feel like with us, it's like, let's say you are whoever you were dealing with, y'all don't have the same group of friends, but like, you know, when you guys stop talking, it's like, okay, do I delete them? Do I block them? Then that gets weird. It's just, it's like extra for no reason. And do I still want to see their face on there? Like, and that makes it, I think it makes it harder to get over that person.
Yeah, I think that's one of the shitty parts of like breaking up with somebody today. Like, you know, you have to think about the social media aspect of it, you know. Like, with some people, it's like you block them right away and that's cool, that's it. But then with some people, it's like you block them, then you unblock them, then you reblock. And that's just a whole extra cycle that you got to get past. And, you know, I think it sucks because, I've been guilty of, like, you know, I block somebody, but then I get over the situation. I don't talk to them ever again. But it's like I lurked, you know, and it just reopened that whole wound. And I think that is very problematic because then, you know, obviously as time goes by, time heals most wounds, right? So you start romanticizing the relationship or, like, remembering the good things you had with that person or whatever. But you start to forget, like, why you guys broke up in the first place. So that's why lurking is also unhealthy in that aspect, because it might bring you to a situation that's already dead and gone, and you shouldn't have to reopen those doors. So that's why, like, I'm big on, you know, setting boundaries even on social media. Like, if you guys break up and you feel like you might, you know, creep your way back in there, block them. I think that's okay. You know, it has nothing to do with, like, you know, oh, she blocked me or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm taking care of my mental health. I'm setting my own boundaries. Like, I don't want somebody to have access to me when I want nothing to do with them ever again. You know, like, I've made that decision. I don't ever want to see this person ever again. So I have a few people where I'm like, to even avoid the temptation to lurk, I've just blocked them. And I'm like, you know what? I'm done with that chapter. They're done with me. We cool. We good, you know?
Yeah, there is power in blocking and muting. Oh, muting. Thank you, IG, for coming out with that.
Bruh.
Because, out of sight, out of mind. And I remember, like, I want to say, too, if you block somebody, keep them blocked. Or, like, if you're going to make the decision to block them, make sure it's, like, a final decision. I say that because it's unhealthy to go through that cycle that Jen was just talking about. Like, I remember there was this guy I used to do it, and, like, for some reason, ended up blocking him, whatever. And then as time went by, I thought I was over the situation. And then, like you said, I started romanticizing the situation. Oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. So I unblocked him thinking he didn't notice. But then he noticed. And then, like, he held that against me the whole time, like, or whatever. And, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, I remember venting to, like, a friend about it, like, about how I unblocked him and how I was feeling. And she was like, if you're gonna block somebody, do it. Because, you, like, what was the point of unblocking him then? Because, like, I understand from his point of view, it's like, okay, what the fuck? Like, because even though, for the reason, I feel like he was meant to get blocked for a reason. In the day, I see from his point of view, it's like, okay, you blocked me. Like, what's the point of unblocking me if you're gonna be playing? So, like, what I'm trying to say is make sure that's a firm decision. And I feel like, too, I would have probably, my healing process would have been more smoother if I would have kept them blocked. But me unblocking, all I did was just open a womb and then allow myself to go through some extra stuff. So we're saying this because, like, this social media stuff, I feel like it's still new to all of us, because social media ain't even been out that long. Like, it's getting more and more innovative. Right. So I feel like it really is taking more and more toll on people's mental health because we are more exposed and stuff. So I feel like now we are seeing the effects of how detrimental it could be to our mental health. So just want to say that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, lurking, like I said, it hurts your feelings. Like, I'm sorry. You know, because let's say you're not over that person yet. You're still very fresh in the healing process. And then you lurk on their page and you see they're out partying. Well, we in quarantine now, so I don't know, but you know, like,
you see still doing something.
Right, they're still like living their life, going out with their friends, whatever, hanging out with people, and you're like, you know, how are they still having a life outside of me, and blah blah. Like, all this stuff just keeps replaying in your head, and you're just hurting yourself. They may just be stunting, first of all, and even if they are living their life without you, they have that right, just like you have that right. You have a right to post a bomb ass picture, or, you know, post where you're at, living your single life, whatever, if you want to. Everybody has a right to do that on their social media. So if you don't want to get your feelings hurt, don't lurk. You know, if somebody else wants to lurk on you, whatever, you can't stop that. But you got to be thinking about yourself. Like, what kind of actions are you making that are either helping you heal or just keeping you back, you know, stuck in that hurt?
That's so true. And I think, too, if you are lurking and you're trying to stop, I think the best thing to do is ask yourself, why are you lurking, and get to the root of it. When it all starts there, because I feel like sometimes we don't even know why we're lurking. We just do it, but we realize, yeah, we're still hurt. Or you might think you're over it, be like, I'm gonna just look. Like, you're looking for a reason. There's still something there. There's still a question mark in your brain. Yeah. Shoot, let's be real. Like, some people might think when they were dealing with the person wasn't completely honest. So if you still going back, you looking for that shit to see, like, there's something going on. So I feel like once we get real with ourselves, I think that's when it could stop. Because if we're constantly lying to ourselves, acting like we're over it, you're going to keep staying in that same pattern. But if you're vulnerable and be like, you know, I still got feelings for this person, that's why I'm looking. I bet you, like, over time, it'll go away because you're real with yourself and you're able to push through it and let it go.
Yeah, I think you bring up a really good point, too. And then really, once you get real with yourself, it's okay to admit that you still have feelings for this person. Shoot, you may never fully get over somebody, you know, and that's okay. But the thing is, lurking is a conscious decision. Nobody's, you know, pulling your finger to purposely go on somebody's profile, look at their story, whatever, do some investigating, you know, what have they been up to the past year or whatever. Nobody's forcing you to do that. That is your own conscious decision. And when you decide, you know what, I still care for this person, but I no longer want to, you know, be hurting myself or reopening that wound, that is when you're actually consciously trying to heal. But when you're just falling back into lurking temptations, you're just keeping yourself there. And I say that from personal experience because, yeah, I've kept myself in that hurt. I've done lurking before. Yeah.
Self-sabotaging.
Exactly. You know, and it's already hard enough trying to get over somebody and, you know, really fully heal from a breakup. And then to purposely be like, it won't hurt if I just look at their profile for a minute, whatever. After. Yeah. And then you end up drinking, whatever, crying yourself to, like, no, that's
rewatching it?
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't.
Sending it to your best
friend. Oh my
friend.
gosh, that is not a good place to be at, you know. And then y'all both end up crying that night, reminiscing.
Then she started lurking. Wait. There was a night one of us started lurking on a dude we used to talk, right? So guess what? The other one started too. We were both sitting there sad the rest of the night.
Oh, we like laid out.
Yeah, and we both opened the womb together. So I'm telling you, it ain't it. Like,
no,
it ain't worth it. Oh, ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth your energy?
Part.
Like, is it worth your energy? Like, that little, whatever, 10 minutes to take you to learn. You could be doing something for your goals. You could be hitting up your new boo. I don't know, but ask yourself, is it worth it?
Shoot, journal. I don't know, something. Like, for me now, when I get that temptation of lurking, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna journal it out. You know, I'm gonna sing it out. I'm gonna run it out. You know, like, I focus my energy on something else to avoid me falling back into it. Because even though, like you said, you know, it's those 10 minutes that you were lurking or whatever, those 10 minutes are gonna turn into like a whole night of you probably replaying the hurt and saying like, whatever you want to say. You know, and it's valid. I think also lurking shows how much healing we still have to do internally. You know, I think that's a really good self-reflection where it's like, dang, you know, I ended up falling back into this. Like, I gotta start working towards being better than that.
Yeah, and going off of that, lurking stunts your growth. Because today, what are we doing? We're going backwards.
Yeah.
Literally, we're going backwards. And then I get it. There's certain situations where you didn't have closure. I've been there. But as a person who's been through that, lurking doesn't give you that closure. I'm gonna be fucking honest with you. Unless, you were with somebody, you thought they were cheating on you or some shit, and you saw the girl on there. Like, something like that is different. I'm not talking about that type of situation where you see the solution or see, like, the answer to your question. But, like, I'm talking about those situations when, like, you're still, like, expecting something from that person. Lurking is just gonna keep hurting you. It's gonna make you miss them, want them, or want to hear from them, or want to hit them up. And it's just, no. Like, it's not gonna give you the solution that you're looking for. Honestly, healing and working on yourself. If that person is really sorry or they want to apologize, they will do it.
They know how to find you.
People know how to. We have like a million different ways to reach a person.
Shoot, they will pop up at your house, email you, find you on eBay.
All that done to me,
something.
eBay,
yes. Shoot, like, I'm just saying, you bring up a really good point. Like, sometimes, you know, I mean, we made a whole episode about this, that sometimes you gotta close it your damn self. You gotta be your own closure, be that apology that you never got. You gotta just accept that things ain't like in the movies, that we don't always get that ending, you know, and it ain't always so cut clear, you know. And also just like thinking of how lurking stunts your growth, you need to realize, like, what am I putting my energy into? Like, this is actually me purposely hurting myself. And I think when you start realizing how much you're the only one suffering from lurking, it actually makes you want to move towards something else. You know, if you're actually working towards your self-love and finding that inner peace, you're trying to find out what are healthier options than lurking. Because lurking is not just one single step. Lurking is actually the gateway into everything else that's going to come afterwards. Like how you're saying, wanting to hit them up, you know, or doing self-destructive behavior. Like, there's so many avenues that lurking can just go into, but it's never a good one. Even if you find out that, oh yeah, you know, I figured out he was cheating after all, blah blah blah, okay, but then that's just reopening that wound for yourself. You know, if it's something that you needed for your own healing, then I guess, you know, whatever, do it. Like I said, I've done lurking before. It's helped in a sense, but then it's also reopened that wound. So I mean, everybody's different, but at the end of the day, like, it's not something recommended. You know, if you're really purposely trying to move on from somebody, do not lurk.
And I'm gonna give y'all haters some advice. Y'all haters, y'all need to stop lurking too. And then y'all stunning y'all growth as well. What are you getting out of that? Oh, look at her, she doing it. Like, you could be using that time for your shit. Yeah. You want to be popping too? Go get your bag. Go do what you need to do.
I mean, haters don't want to.
But they don't care. They want to watch. I guess they thrive off of that. And then again, I don't know. I ain't no haters. So
I mean,
but if y'all watching this too, that's one word of advice to help y'all situation too.
And that's the thing. Like, you know, if you're hating on somebody, use that energy towards yourself. How can you make yourself better? Yes. How can you make your own life better? How can you start worrying about your own life instead of focusing on somebody else's life? I'm sorry. That's such a sad thing to live. And I'm gonna say this straight up, like, when you so concerned about somebody else's life, you hating on what they have, start plotting on yourself. Start doing some shit for you. Start working on your own goals. Yeah, why the you got a whole life inside of you. You worried about whoop-de-whoop over there. Why? What's the point? I'm just saying, you know, like, being a hater does nothing.
That don't sound easy either.
No, that sound like frustrations, frown lines. Like, I'm sorry.
Whoa,
it just sound like headache.
Yeah, we had to shoot that out there too. Yeah. I don't want to say too, in general, there are consequences of lurking. Like I said, it's old trauma, wasted time, bitterness, sadness. Like, it's just nothing good to that. It's like, you don't feel good after you do it. Like, you look and then what? And then you just feel so, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I never feel good after all that.
Hell no.
I'm speaking from experience.
No, really. I mean, I could tell you all the consequences I've had of lurking. Shoot, I end up crying that night. Like, I end up realizing a lot of shit I haven't moved on from. You know, it just, like, it opens the floodgates into unhealthiness. Like, it just reminds you that you have not done the inner work yet. And also, in a way, it reminds you you're not ready for a healthy relationship in that case. Because if you still lurking on your ex, you still wondering what the fuck they're up to, or an ex-friend or whatever, you're not ready to move into the next chapter of your life. Because when you're no longer concerned about what you left behind or what left you behind, that is when you're ready for that next chapter. But if you're still living in the past, you're still wondering what they're doing, you know, hoping that they're not doing well or whatever, and nuh-uh, honey, you ain't ready to move into the next chapter. So that's also a consequence of lurking, where you're stunting really your own growth. Again, it's a conscious decision, so you're consciously making sure that you're not growing if you're lurking.
I hope y'all were taking notes. And I'm gonna say too, for the people being lurked on, beware of the lurkers. In the day, that's energy. Be careful what you're putting out there of yourself. Like, I feel like, okay, we're in a time to, okay, I post a lot, but we're in a time to, we see people posting more sacred things, like those moments that should be more held in private, or things for you, or like they're quick to post every little new accomplishment or something that they're plotting on before it happens. You gotta watch out doing that too. Them lurkers is putting energy on that. Like, we gotta stop trying to announce our next move. It's okay to like be proud of yourself, do an appreciation post, but do it after it happens, or like you know it's sealed. Because I feel like you got to be careful when you announce things before it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been the biggest person of like, you know, don't put all your business out there. And even if you're super excited about something, if it has not happened yet, do not post it. Like, you're just, you know, in Spanish we say salado, which is basically you're salting your own blessings. Like, you're just, you know, putting again? Salado.
I like that.
Yeah, you're salting your own blessings, you know. And it just, like, I don't know, I'm very weary of like energy and envy and all that stuff. So yeah, definitely putting your moves out there at every single moment. It's like, you know, people are gonna be throwing that energy. Like, I'm sorry, also in Spanish it's called que alguien te pone ojo, which means like someone's eyeing you. And basically with the eye, why do y'all think the evil eye exists? It's to protect you from that bad energy, that, you know, bad voodoo that people are trying to do or whatever. Like, especially now that, you know, spirituality is like taking a rise, it's trending, whatever. Like, there's so many more people who are becoming aware of the power of energy, and not everybody's going to use that for good. So yeah, when there's somebody who's purposely trying to make sure you're not doing well, they're the main ones lurking, main ones putting that energy onto your goals, you know, manifestations, whatever. So you need to be really careful about what you're talking about, what you're putting out there. And like you said, you know, the most sacred moments, try to see if that's something maybe you can keep for yourself. Like, there's certain things in my life that I really just will never post, I'll never talk about on social media, because I just don't want that type of energy put into that specific realm of my life.
That's so true. Like, yeah, manifest in private, really. You ain't gotta, like, everyone does not need to know everything you're trying to do.
Nope.
Like, and I hear people say, I'm about to go MIA. Why are you saying to just do it? Like, it's okay to take breaks too, but you ain't even gotta announce you're taking a break. Like,
right.
In the day, like, we gotta stop trying to find validation, seek validation through people, and like really be protective of our energy and stuff. In the day, all this relates to self-love though, because I feel like when you lurk and stuff, you're just putting yourself through a road you could have avoided. You know, it's about when you want to protect yourself. It's like let's be real, if you like a traumatic video, you're not gonna sit there and keep watching that over and over. So that's the same thing. It's not as crazy, but you're still hurting yourself when you're allowing yourself to go down those pathways.
Yeah, it's still trauma regardless. You know, I mean, whatever led to that breakup or ending of the friendship or whatever, whomever you're lurking on, yeah, that's still trauma involved, whether it was explosive or not. It's still, again, reopening that wound. It's like adding that salt to that cut, you know, you're just reopening that. So yeah, with lurking relating to self-love, like, you're purposely not going back there anymore. You're purposely avoiding that toxic moment. You know, you're purposely just saying, I want better, I want healthier, you know, I want more for myself. Like, I think whatever's left in the past, you can leave it in the past, and that's okay. Sometimes we have to just be okay with things ending, because as that quote says, you know, sometimes things fall apart so better things can come together. And honestly, we need to keep that in mind. Like, I don't know why we normalize lurking also. Like, I think that's so toxic to dating and romance and just friendships also. Like, if you're done with somebody, they're no longer with you, let it go, man. Like, you have no idea how liberating it is to truly start finding yourself and finding your life outside of whatever this person was or whatever that relationship was carrying for you, and finding just that you can be a different person, a much better person. Like, there's no grander love than the one you find for yourself. And lurking is not going to get you there.
It's going to stunt that. And ways to stop lurking, so like me and Jen talked about before, blocking and muting, deleting, Also, if you on social media and you feel the urge alert, get off social media.
Yeah.
Log off. Take an Instagram break. Like, log off of your social media and use that time for something else. I feel like make it a goal to stop lurking. I feel like, too, sometimes it becomes your routine. I ain't gonna lie. That's happened to me. There was time, like, that was my thing every day, checking a certain page, you know. And I had to break that, you know, and, like, take it out of my routine and, like, really talk myself out of that. So I feel like once you, it's all a mind thing. And I feel like once you knock that trait out, it gets easier and easier, and then you'll start healing, and then you won't even care. A day will come, like, you won't even give a fuck.
For sure. It comes with self-discipline too. I think that's one of the big ways to start lurking also. Because, yeah, you know, you can transmute your energy elsewhere, you know, keep yourself busy with other stuff, work on your own goals. But there also comes like a point where you have some downtime, right? Maybe you just want to check social media just because it's the end of the day. You've done everything you could. But then you get that temptation. Build that self-discipline. Remember why either y'all broke up or why you're no longer talking. Again, I'm a big fan of the block button because it does wonders for boundaries. Like, I think boundaries on social media are so, you know, watered down that it's hard to find a clear-cut way to actually set them. You could tell somebody leave you the fuck alone every single day of your life, but if they still have access to you and they want to bother you, they gonna do it. You know, so you got to build that self-discipline for yourself too. If you don't want to block them, cool. You don't believe in the block button, cool. You know, but also build that for yourself, that I'm not going to do this anymore. It's not worth it. It's not making me feel better. Like we said, when has lurking ever made somebody feel better? Like, if you can tell me that, shoot, I'm all for you, you know. But for me personally, it's never made me feel better. At the end of the day, it doesn't actually help. So yeah, building that self-discipline, I think, is key to also prevent yourself from lurking. And I know it's easier said than done. Yeah, I mean, I still struggle with wanting to lurk, but I remind myself that it's not worth it, that I'm in a much better, healthier space, that I no longer want to go back there.
And in the day too, everybody lurks. It's normal. Like, it's everybody does it. If someone tell you that they don't lurk, they lying. But in the day, you'll stop when you are ready. But it starts with just taking those steps towards it. Because if you're normalizing it for yourself, you're just gonna keep doing it. But if you're like telling yourself, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, and slowly getting yourself out of it, like Jen said, working on that self-discipline, it'll happen on your time. So yeah, be patient with yourself too. It doesn't happen overnight, especially when it's like a fresh wound or someone you got super, super strong feelings for, or like a friendship you're trying to get over, whatever. Because friends can break your heart too. Like, I know that feeling. You know what I mean? So end of the day, like, yeah, be patient with yourself through this process. Yeah,
and I think one of the other bigger things too is put that energy into yourself. All the love that you would have had for this other person, pour that into you. And I'm saying that from personal experience, because that's something I had to learn also. Like, I had feelings for this person that I so desperately felt like I needed to get out. Well, I started pouring that back into me. I started loving myself a little harder, especially on the days where I felt like I wasn't worthy of it or I was struggling with it. That's when I decided, you know what would I tell a friend who I saw struggling like this? You know, if I saw a friend struggling with like wanting to lurk or something, what would I tell them? So I say that to myself, and I'm just learning that I matter in my own life. I need to be a main character in my own life. So we all need to start pouring that energy back into ourselves. Fuck everybody else, making them main characters and all that stuff. Who are you in your own story?
Yeah, loving yourself more speeds up the healing process too. You realize that person not even worth your time, and guess what? It won't be worth your energy. So, like we say, what do we say? Lurking
ain't easy.
I hope y'all note that. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all can check us out on Instagram at SpeakUpJV. Our Podbean website at speakupjv.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, apparently iHeartRadio, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this post. Also share it. You know, are your friends who be lurking that be coming to you telling you that they lurk, and send them this episode.
And for those of y'all lurking on our podcast, go ahead and share this video too.
Yes, we appreciate all the support. We hope this video helped everyone out.
We hope we all enjoyed this.
Have a good one.
Bye.